115 and 125, the female subject was able to exit the residence. So now we were, based upon her statements and the information we had, we were fairly confident. We only had one subject still in there, that was Mr. Kroeker. Again, more gunfire going off. At this point, there was actually gunfire exchange with police, with the officers on the perimeter, because he was coming to the window shooting out. We detected about 125 movement in the bathroom area, and then again we came to more contact, unable to get any kind of contact with him. And they also began, the units around there and the people deployed began to hear some other types of movement inside. They equated it to metal being broken or being disturbed in some way. We had a feeling at that time that we knew that there was natural gas being, a heater inside the apartment. So we went ahead and we shut the gas off the apartment. And shortly after that, probably simultaneously, we detected smoke coming out of the apartment, and within a few minutes there was flame. So now we had another situation where we actually had the apartment building on fire. We never did have the opportunity to introduce gas into the situation. When I say gas, I mean chemical agents. And again, they were of the non-incendiary type anyway. We never were able to do that. Smoke and flame, fire went around to the rear of the apartment building to suppress the fire as much as they could. During that time, there was more exchange of shots with law enforcement. At that time, Mr. Fulton had moved out to the landing outside the door, was shooting at law enforcement. Law enforcement returned fire, and Mr. Fulton was down prone on the landing. Commands were given to him to show his hands, to comply with our commands. At this time, it's unclear to me, based upon the lighting and statements from the officers, if there was actually any movement by him. So we think that there was still some movement at that time. We waited a few more minutes to get some kind of movement or compliance with our direction, and there was no compliance. About 1:59, say around 2 o'clock, deputies went up the stairwell and were able to take hold of Mr. Fulton and handcuff him, brought him down the stairs to the grassy area. There was no movement at that time. Medical was on scene, and about 2:05 determined that he was deceased. We do not know exactly at this time. Autopsy will be performed as to how that came about. We're assuming it was probably due to the gunfire exchange with law enforcement. We were told that there might have been some singeing or some black singeing on his face from the fire. The fire went in and suppressed the fire, put that out. It did not have any effect on any of the other residences adjoining that one, from what I understand. And at this point, we have investigators on scene talking to all the other residences in this complex. It's a very large scene, many people in the area that live there. So we're going to be working on this for some time to get all the statements from those